What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball fan manga breakdown review, where today we're going to be reviewing a fan manga entitled Dragon Ball Multiverse, which is a fan-made manga set within an alternative timeline involving various incarnations of Dragon Ball characters set within different universes and timelines to compete in a massive multiverse tournament for the grand prize to see which universe will be the universe to gain the mightiest of the Dragon Balls. As for many years now, I've been introducing and showcasing various different fan mangas created by the community for the community, so if you would like to check out all the latest and best Dragon Ball fan mangas, then make sure to check the description box and bio down below for all the latest in Dragon Ball fan mangas, including Dragon Ball AF, Dragon Ball X, Beyond Dragon Ball Super, and many others. Then be sure to check out all the Dragon Ball fan mangas listed down below, and if you are new to this channel and are a fan of anime and Dragon Ball, then don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload. As we kick off Dragon Ball Multiverse manga chapter number 52 with a side story taking place inside of Universe 13. Now, to sum this story up in its basic form, this is the story of Raditz and Kakarot having to survive on their own. They're faced off against an army by themselves in which they've learned how to survive together as brothers, as opposed to having them fight just as we've seen in the original Dragon Ball Z series or in different timelines. So this story basically covers the premise of Raditz helping Kakarot and Kakarot helping Raditz, two brothers striving to survive by themselves, left to fend off against an entire army together. And this story basically explains the relationship between Kakarot and Raditz and why the two care so much about one another as seen in the Multiverse tournament. In my opinion, I'm not really a fan of the art style, nor am I a fan of the direction for this specific filler chapter, but nonetheless it goes into detail as to why exactly Raditz and Kakarot were able to survive together and the deep connection they have as brothers, which I did enjoy the brotherly factor they did have in this specific filler chapter, because it really goes on to explain them having to use the Great Ape form to survive, and for them to have to fend on their own, it really does establish their connection as seen in the previous manga chapters for Multiverse as to why they really do care about each other. So I will say the overall story was decent at best. I did not enjoy the overall art style because it further deviates from what we've gotten so far in the main canon series for Dragon Ball Multiverse, which leads us into the opening of Dragon Ball Multiverse manga chapter number 53 as we kick things off with Base Bra having to fight against a final form King Cold. Now, prior to this manga chapter on my previous video, King Cold had made a bet with Bra that she basically can't defeat him without using Super Saiyan, and of course Bra, having to be very naive, she accepts the challenge of not being able to use Super Saiyan during this fight. Unexpectedly enough, King Cold has lots of transformations, one of which having to be shown on screen. So as King Cold attempts to fight Bra, Bra immediately dodges and punches King Cold in the face, but King Cold seems to smile. As he swings back at Bra, the fight becomes so intense that we see how Bra is beginning to get cut. She's trying her best in base form to combat a final form King Cold, and I will say King Cold is definitely bringing the firepower to Bra, but surprisingly Bra, to her credit, is holding her own against such a formidable foe. As King Cold then unleashes a massive blast in the sky, Bra is engulfed by it as she attempts to push back. And as she attempts to do so, she's able to somehow deflect the blast, landing on her feet, as King Cold goes on to ask, haha, your attacks don't really hurt. As we see Bra huffing and puffing, she's wounded, she's bleeding, as King Cold goes on to ask, tired already? As Bra says, tch, I'm just getting warmed up, as Piccolo goes on to tell Goku he's stronger, faster, and tougher than Bra. Still, she is sure of herself. As King Cold goes on to state, let's move on to serious stuff then, shall we? As he begins to release these energy blasts from his fingers, he quickly shoots them off at Bra, as Bra attempts to dodge them by simply having to fly away. As she's flying away, she turns back and looking at King Cold and stating, I'll correct your target, little things, okay? As she begins to move away, she grabs onto the blast and deflects them directly at King Cold. As she's grabbing onto the blasts, kicking and punching them away, we see all of these little energy blasts begin to hurl towards King Cold's direction, as King Cold goes on to state, insolent wretch. As he also manages to knock the blast directly back at Bra, it's beginning to feel like a dodgeball kind of session, because as soon as King Cold deflects him back at Bra, Bra deflects it back at King Cold, and vice versa. As Bra goes on to state, "Take them back. Their weakness embarrasses me." Feeling overwhelmingly confident, they begin to exchange blasts. As Oob goes on to ask, "The number of attacks are growing." As Bra doesn't seem to let up, she's dodging the attacks, throwing them back at King Cold is throwing them back at Bra, and King Cold is beginning to get very, very frustrated, but then, due to his overall arrogance, he begins to get hit by his own blasts. As Bra begins to charge up, Goku goes on to state, "What? She still has enough energy for this?" As she fires off a swirl attack, she goes on to state it wasn't even that hard. As King Cold emerges from the smoke, Bra is completely puzzled, as King Cold is so angry as he dodges and maneuvers his way through Bra's blast, heading directly for her as Frieza and Cooler smile. Vegeta, Gohan, Pan, and Trunks look on as King Cold swoops in, delivering an earth-shattering punch to Bra's abdominal section. And as King Cold punches Bra with such force, she begins to cough up blood. Her pupils are beginning to dilate, and King Cold now is bringing the firepower to Bra. Why? Because instead of solely relying on energy, King Cold is using a guerrilla warfare tactic and using his hands instead. As everyone begins to look on, Bra is seriously injured. As she teleports down onto the ground, we see how King Cold is damaged, and King Cold seemingly enough is hurt, but Bra on the other hand is bleeding from her forehead, bleeding from her cheeks, bleeding from her mouth, bleeding from her shoulders, her arms, and even her ribs. As King Cold angrily looks on, Bra lands on her feet, but quickly falls down onto the ground. And as she falls down, King Cold is smiling, because he figures that this battle is over. As everyone looks on, Pan goes on to ask Gohan, "Is she dead?" As Gohan goes on to state, "I don't know. It's difficult to sense her energy from here." As Oob goes on to state, "She's very weak, but I can still feel some energy." As King Cold overhears this, he goes on to state, "Oh yeah?" and creates 4 Destructo Discs with his hands. And as he's about to throw them, King Cold goes on to cry out, "Let's accelerate the countdown," and throws the discs directly at Bra's unconscious body. As Bra lays there legitimately in a pool of her own blood, which I really did enjoy because the detail behind this is very realistic. Imagine having to be in a fight with an alien like this, you're bound to bleed at some point, so the detail behind the art is phenomenal. And as the discs begin to approach her body, Bra is beginning to crunch. As she quickly outmaneuvers the discs by flying up in the air, everyone is shocked that Bra still has power within her, including King Cold. And as we see Bra maneuver her way up in the sky, out of her gloves, 2 sensu beans emerge. Bra had 2 sensu beans this entire time, as King Cold cries out, "That's cheating!" As Bra states, "Psst, I'm doing like you. I used the rules to my advantage, and now I have the upper hand." As Piccolo looks on over towards Goku, he goes on to state, "You would have also given one to King Cold." As Goku states, "Well, of course, why?" As King Cold so angrily states, "The upper hand? I'll show you." As one of the Destructo Discs is coming right behind Bra, she quickly cuts right through the discs with her own energy saber. As Vegeta cries out, "Don't touch it!" everyone is shocked and stating, "Wait, how did she?" As Bra cries out, "You had lost before you even entered the ring. Until now, I've only used basic attacks against you, but it's time to end this." As the energy saber she is using is very, very similar to Vegeto's energy saber. As King Cold cries out, "Do you think you can take me by surprise?" As she quickly teleports behind him, she's able to not only outmaneuver him, but now Bra is taking the fight serious against King Cold. As she's quickly zigzagging all around him, King Cold can't seem to catch her, and because of this, Bra is actually having the upper hand by seemingly trapping King Cold in some sort of liquid like plasma. As Cold cries out, "What the?" as his body begins to sink. Bra emerges in front of him, puts her hands together, and creates one massive energy blade in which she uses right then and there to cut right through King Cold. And as she cuts right through King Cold, keep in mind she never once used her Super Saiyan abilities because that was the bet that she made against King Cold, and as soon as she cuts right through him, the manga chapter comes to a close. Now, I really enjoyed this because basically, Bra had taken the arrogant route that Vegeta had normally taken in allowing his opponent to feel like he had the upper hand, because Bra basically played possum. She admitted this entire time that she never took the fight serious to begin with, and I really did enjoy the level of detail behind this because it was really enjoyable to see King Cold really beat the blood out of Bra, but Bra having to have sensu beans inside of her glove, she had the last laugh because upon using it, now King Cold was the one that was at a disadvantage. And even though the story of Bra and King Cold has not fully concluded, it looks like right now Bra's going to have the upper hand by slicing King Cold in two, and by using her speed and energy to her advantage, right now it's looking like she is going to be the victor of this fight, but we still don't know what King Cold is fully capable of, nor what he's hiding to his disposal. So until then, we're going to have to wait it out to see what exactly is going to happen between Bra and King Cold. But in the end, I would like to get your thoughts in the comment section below about Bra versus King Cold. Does it make sense power scaling wise in having base Bra, the daughter of Super Vegeta from Z, take on King Cold in his final form with complete ease, or do you believe that it's kind of rational considering the fact that she is the daughter of Vegeta and she still possesses massive amounts of power to her disposal? What are your overall thoughts on this fight, and what do you think is going to be the end result of King Cold versus Bra? I would like to get your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching once more. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and slap a big fat like down below. If you guys are new to this channel and enjoy Dragon Ball content alongside Dragon Ball fan mangas, then make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tune back in for the next video. If of course you guys are unaware or missed out on the previous Dragon Ball fan mangas, you guys can go ahead and head on over down in the description box below and check out all of your favorite fan mangas, including more to come in the foreseeable future. So be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once more, tune back in for the next episode, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and all his social media platforms. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications so you can be the first to know every time that he uploads a new video.
Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck, Zarbon? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes, but Jesus Christ, that's huge!